Hello, my people. Welcome to the Patriots Club. This is where we discuss issues relating to our nation. So today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic, and that is William Ruto's discussions and conversations that he is having with these guys in the US. And the most interesting thing is that for the first time, William Ruto has met people who does not fear him, people who are ready to ask anything, anytime, and who feel free to just go into a good conversation with him. And through this, we have been able to identify so many things that we didn't know before. Before we talk about this and before we continue, kindly subscribe to my channel, and let's continue talking, and possibly ring the bell so that anytime we update a film like this, we'll be able to be the first person to see it and to comment on the same. So I will take you to the conversation that the DP had with these guys, and let's see how it went through.
America, we understand that true democracy is linked to having both free press and the freedom to speak. And so I want to ask you to think about this as it pertains to Kenya. What does democracy look like there? And what is your responsibility as a deputy president to make sure it happens?
Well, to be fair to ourselves, maybe sometimes we judge ourselves by very high standards. Mm-hmm. But to be fair to ourselves, Kenya is a robust democratic country with a very progressive constitution that builds into it the Bill of Rights that is progressive and that is robust in its provisions, so that there wouldn't be a lacuna for anybody to box people into a straitjacket and expect people to speak only in a certain manner. But that be as it may, you wouldn't have people who would want to play games with the rights of others to decide, to make independent decisions and to make choices that they believe are the correct choices. So regular elections is part of our forte. We will be having elections in the next 5 months, in 9th of August to be exact. And people of Kenya will make choices. And the only maybe concern that many Kenyans have is the intrusion by agencies to try and manipulate decisions of people at different levels. And the good thing is that the people of Kenya have stood very firm as against any attempts to make decisions on their behalf. There is a huge pushback, let me say, by citizens of Kenya against any attempt to choreograph the next dispensation in Kenya. And there is a lot of blackmail, intimidation, use of criminal justice system to intimidate leaders, to blackmail leaders, to ask people to vote in a certain way. But Kenya, being a very progressive and having practiced democracy for a long while, they've stood up to this blackmail and threats and intimidation. And as a leader in Kenya, I have taken the position that every citizen, and I have gone all out to protect and to speak against any attempts to try and straitjacket people into predetermined outcomes. The biggest issue that is on the ballot is the democracy of our nation and whether we truly have the opportunity to make free choices devoid of blackmail, threats, and intimidation.
Former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. This guy has been talking about these things for so long that nobody was listening. When the DP went to America, I remember I made a video about what he could have gone to do there. And remember, democracy was one of the things that I was talking about. And it has come out so clear that this is exactly what he had gone to do. That he also has some speculations that there could be some plans. There could be some plans. And the only option that he had was outside the country, because within here everything is being run by the government. But if he is confirming that, then I believe he knows something from the past. Maybe something from 2017 or 2013, or maybe something that has been there all through. So when did this start? And those are some of the things that we expect our journalist, when he comes back, we expect our journalists to raise these questions to him. Mr. Deputy President, you said that there are systems that are there which are hindering democracy in Kenya. Can you tell us which institutions are these? And if that is true, then tell us, for how long have this been in existence? Because if that is true, then it means that the game wasn't fair for the former Prime Minister in 2013, 2017, and 2007. If some of these institutions that the DP is talking about, if one of them is the DCI office, then I think we have a huge problem. Because you will find that most of the guys who has been accused of corruption, most of them are actually politicians. So if you say that when you are in positions like this, people are likely to accuse you of so many things, then I believe that is it's a very bad show of our country, because number one, it limits our democracy, and number two, it makes the DCI office become irrelevant, because people will end up not believing whatever the DCI is doing, because there has always been that kind of a feeling. And actually there is a show that most of the people who are being accused of these corruption cases are actually from the opposition side. Let's call it the opposition for now, because the UDA team has been acting like one. So if the DCI office has not been fair, then that's one of the main reasons that corruption will never cease to be in this country. We have a major problem. If this group of people that the Deputy President is talking about is the judiciary, then the problem is even worse. Because number one, it shows that the judiciary is not fair. Number two, it shows that even after the presidential election has been taken to court, and the system and the judiciary has to do the final, that has to make the final decision, it means that the decision will also not be fair. So which institutions is the DP talking about here? I believe we will all like to have an answer on this, because the DP will be back and our journalists will be there. What is more worrying to me is that the group from the Azimio team has been they has been so quiet about this. And actually today I heard them say that what the DP is going through is a kind of fear that he has already lost the election. So he wants to start a kind of a discussion that these things are being rigged out. So he's just making a complaint. This is so unfortunate because the same group of Azimio was the one that, like the ODM team, was the one that has been crying about the democracy of this country. And it is becoming a little bit painful that these guys are the ones now who seem to be like supporting what they have been fighting against all the years. What does this do to the image of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga? All the legacy that he has created, everything that he has done for this country to make sure that democracy exists. Will he act like now everything is just okay, that all the noise that the DP is making is not necessary and such? Remember remember the former Prime Minister also made such kind of a mistake before Moi left. Because after the last election that was done in this country, Raila Odinga thought that Moi could support him. So he decided to join Moi. Although Moi did let him down after, everything that he has done before to fight against this regime, the Moi regime, the dictatorial regime, people could not really take him seriously after that, because you cannot be fighting a regime that you are inside. And when Moi was just about to retire, Raila Odinga joined him. Remember the famous frame, Jogo ilimeza Tinga Tinga. Remember Tinga was Raila Odinga and Jogo was Moi. So by the time Moi left this country, left the presidency of this country, Odinga's party had already joined the Moi team, and actually he had been given a ministry. So what do you think about this guy? Now he has joined President Uhuru Kenyatta after fighting him for a very long time. And the most unfortunate thing is that he's fighting everything that he believed in. It will come to a point that people will cease to understand whether this guy really believes in anything. This country is becoming just it's all about winning elections. It's not about morality anymore. It's not about patriotism anymore. It's not about the people anymore. It's just all about the campaign. I don't know how many people could really feel the pain that was there when the guys like Orengo was the one, when guys like Orengo goes to court to stand with Sabina Chege when she said that they rigged the election. You can imagine that Orengo was there standing with Sabina Chege to help her get out of this case. You see, this is the kind of deception that I have been talking about. That we are headed in a very, very dangerous position as a country. A country where you can just say something tomorrow and then say something today and then tomorrow just say something totally different. And you are saying it before people and people will not even question you. Simply because they stand with someone in the election. And they believe that the certain person must be president no matter what. What if we do a clean campaign whereby you just believe in whatever you believe in as a person, and then you come to us, the voters now, with dignity, with clean hands, like this is what I believe in. What do you guys have to say? Where we will do politics whereby it is not about a person. It is about the ideas. It is about the principles that you stand for. Thank you for having time for me. Kindly to remind you again, continue subscribing to my channel, and let's continue having a conversation.